ready to head off the trails? I'm the Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio YouTube channel. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would love to have you. And shout out to Bumblefoot for that amazing intro music. I always appreciate that. It really sets the mood for the night. All right, you guys, please follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. You guys can follow me at thecryptidhuntress.com, where you can find all of my shows, all of the events I'm doing, and everything that I'm up to right there. And please subscribe to my kick-ass YouTube channel. It's the Cryptid Huntress, where I have weekly live shows there every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And those shows are gaining a lot of traction. I highly recommend y'all going there and subscribing and hanging out with me over there. Also, if you guys would like to support what I'm doing, please go and hang out. I'm going to say hang out. Go buy some jewelry over here at the War Woman Goods. That's on Etsy. That would make my day. And put a little note in there saying you're one of my viewers. And I usually put like a little extra, something from the Cryptid Huntress in there. So y'all go support War Woman Goods on Etsy. I would love that. And also, I have a Patreon, The Cryptid Huntress, over on Patreon. Okay, so thank you guys so much. So everybody who's already a member of my Patreon, big shout out to you guys. I love all of y'all. You really do keep me going. Okay, so I have a fantastic guest here at Spaced Out Radio tonight. I have Jesus Payan Jr. in the studio tonight. Don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has an amazing program set up for you guys tonight. And yours truly is going to be hanging out in After Hours tonight, at least for the first couple of hours. So y'all come see me over there with Marquise tonight. It's going to be awesome. Okay, everybody, let's get to our guest. Jesus Payan is an actor who plays Gonzo in the hit series Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, along with numerous other movies with Steven Segal and Mark Wahlberg. He's been a longtime Sasquatch researcher who's been on a lifelong quest to find and understand the reality of this mysterious creature. He was chosen as one of the field researchers for the Falcon Project and was featured on Finding Bigfoot on their Four Corners episode in the Upper Fruitland Navajo Reservation, where Jesus Jr. threw the first Bigfoot Conference ever on that reservation. He's worked with numerous PhDs in anthropology and was part of the Cryptid Hominid Genome Project. He's teamed up with Monster Quest producer, creator Doug Hijack on some endeavors, okay? And he's been face-to-face with Sasquatch within 10 feet, as well as other sightings. He's been researching in the field for over 30 years, you guys. And he has some of the most amazing Bigfoot evidence. Some of these pictures, we're going to show you guys some of these tonight. I'm going to have him tell some of his encounters. And so please help me welcome to the show tonight, Jesus Jr. Hey, Jesus.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Hello. Thank you for joining me again. It's always a pleasure having you here at Spaced Out Radio.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And on the Cryptid Hunters channel, too, by the way.
I tell you, on every channel that we do these interviews on.
That's right.
Good, informative time.
It is. Well, actually, at the Cryptid Hunters, you and I have talked about the ancient Egyptian settlements in the United States. We've talked about star forts. We've talked about hidden history. We've really touched on a lot of interesting topics over there.
Lots of different stuff.
Yeah. Well, you have such a vast knowledge on so many things. So, but how I got to know you and you caught my eye was when you were, I believe you were on DA's show, DA Roberts. You were over there talking about, I think it was his show, and you were showing some pictures of from your Bigfoot research that you do. And I thought, man, this guy has some of the best pictures I have ever seen of Bigfoots. Okay. And I'm not one to show pictures of blurry Bigfoots. Okay. But yours were not blurry. Right? How did you manage to get such great pictures of Bigfoots?
By accident most of the time.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like saying organized chaos. Okay. So what I do is I'll go out, I'll track the Bigfoots, the Sasquatch, whatever we want to call them, the Sabays, and all that fun stuff. And I come to a good idea of an area they're probably in, and then I just shut up and listen, right? Maybe do a knock or a call, a whoopie here and
a whoop-de-whoop.
and a wackety whack over there, and then I just shut up and listen and wait for that heebie-jeebie feeling,
The goosebumps.
Yeah, the hair is raising. You have hair, the hair raises on the back of your neck, and all that fun stuff. But if I hear something, a crunch, a whistle, or I just feel like I'm being watched, like deeply, I pick up my camera and I just start taking pictures in that direction, zoom in a little bit, take pictures, tick, 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 like if I was a sprinkler system,
Smart.
And then when I get home, I go through all those pictures, zoomed in all the way and looking around for a dark area. Usually that's what gives them away in the photo is all of a sudden I was green, out of the browns, out of the oranges, and out of the yellows, all the different colors of the forest. Not too often, unless there's been a fire or a serious, like, deep mold on a tree, you won't see black. Unless you dug a fresh hole or something in the dirt, but not up higher than the dirt. So usually that grabs my eye, and then I'll look at it, and then I'll say, well, that's not a Bigfoot, or that's a really dark raccoon, that's not, I don't know. But yeah, that's how I usually get it. Unless, like I said, the Bigfoot's looking in my tent. That was just, obvious, it was right there, in my face. And then when I got some pictures of juveniles, I actually saw something looking at me in the, under a tree, the tree leaves and stuff. And I broke out my camera, or the Bigfoot that walking across the field. You know what I mean?
But yeah. You think about it though. Like the difference between you and I is like you think about grabbing your camera real quick when you're having an experience. I just sit there and take it all in, and that's where you're yielding those results.
Yeah. It's just like that. My picture of the Bigfoot I call Bailey, sitting at the bottom of a tree trunk. I didn't see Bailey there when I took the picture. I just knew something was in that direction. Mm-hmm. So I did thing, got home, look, saw something really dark, zoomed in, and then of course started my enhancements. But like I said, a lot of the times it is, like I said, technically not on purpose, but it is how I'm getting them. Because like I said, I'm not seeing them right away unless I see actual movement.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that.
Well, let's go back to that evening when you were, and I know you've told me the story before, but tell the audience tonight about the evening where you caught a Bigfoot and a potential alien looking in your tent one night. What was that about?
Well, it was weird. The year was 2017. It was to the end of the summer, the end of the summer. Mm-hmm. It's starting to get chilly, at nighttime. And I had a friend that didn't believe in Bigfoot, said they don't exist, said he had been up and down those mountains many a time, hunting for shedded antlers. And I told him, well, you just didn't know what to look for. You didn't recognize anything because you have no idea what to look for. I go, come on up with me one day, and I'll show you some weird things that if you can explain how a human did them, hey, I'll say you're right. Now, if it's the opposite, and you can't figure out how a human could possibly do these things, then give Bigfoot the benefit of the doubt. He said, okay, fine. And hit me up one day and said, let's go. Let's go, man. So we didn't even set a date to do it or nothing. It was just random, let's roll, And we went out there and I took him around. I showed him some tree structures, some, bending of trees and weaving of trees that make no sense whatsoever, and did some tree knocking. They responded. That freaked them out. Yeah, so he ended up getting all excited because he was hearing and seeing stuff he never thought of, looking for. And let's go camp out. Let's camp out tonight. And I told him, hey, this is a big, giant, 10-foot tall, scary, hairy. To him, I just said monster. I know it's rude, but
Monsters, right?
you know what I mean. And they can go
Well, it's
pop
okay.
our little heads off, whenever they feel. It wouldn't be hard for them to do that. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So we set up camp. He had his pop-up tent in his truck. And
Okay. A pop-up
yeah,
tent. Those are easy. I like those.
right. And before we went in the tent for the night, it was still evening-ish. If you go to my channel, Breaking Bigfoot, I have one short. If you go to look at my short, it's that day. And I had a filter on the phone, so it shows a bunch of my faces. And I really called the big. I was like, Sasquatch, where are you? Come on down. I'm trying to say
I
what's
saw
up.
that.
And he thought I was crazy, but I really was inviting them. And we went in there that night, and eventually that night, late at night, almost early morning, um, yeah, two Bigfoots walked up to the tent, started sniffing around and putting their hand on the tent, and reached under the tent, knocked over old Kenny, and then peeled
Ooh.
back the vent hood on the tent and was looking inside the tent right above Kenny. I was by the door farther away, so my angle was real crappy. But I got images, right?
You
And I
did.
didn't or realize Kenny didn't say anything. He just was freaking out, like literally just said, I can see its face, I can see its nose, I can, And when I got home and analyzed these images, there was two Bigfoots and what looks like an ET alien, gray, but not with gray skin and black eyes. It was green skin with red eyes. Same shape though, but yeah, different color. Yeah.
Sounds
So
kind of reptilian to me.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I have
pretty,
some of those pictures here tonight
pretty
to show
creepy.
the audience. Now, I want to talk about the guy that was with you. Okay, how did he react? Did you guys spend the night there that night, or did y'all leave? Was he able to keep his composure?
Um, he was really freaked out. We stayed the whole
Yeah.
night into the morning. Um, I I guess eased his freak outness because every time I told the Bigfoots to stop doing whatever they're doing, they would stop. Or like
Okay.
when they put the arm under the tent and knocked him over, I told them, bad Bigfoot, no, and it
No,
pulled its arm, it pulled its arm away, and they didn't do that again. When he started getting too upset when they're looking up at them, they're making faces at him. They weren't making no noises, but they were making faces at him apparently. And when he started getting too freaked out and they didn't stop, I flashed the flashlight at their faces and I said, "No more! You're scaring him, guys. He's getting freaked out." You know. And so they stopped looking in and started just circling the tent for the next few hours. And
few hours. Good Lord, how long were y'all there, being surrounded by Bigfoots?
I'd say one ish in the morning to about 4:35. You know.
Wow. Okay, that's brave. That's really
Well,
brave.
what really sucked was that where we're set up was on top of hard gravel and dirt
Okay.
and dirt. You know what I mean? So it was more gravel than dirt in that area. That's where a lot of people park and camp. So I didn't get to see any fat. That sucked because it was like they were all over the place. And then I don't like I said, I don't know about the old green red eyed dude if he was floating or he was standing because if he was standing he was as tall as the Bigfoots. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, okay, so is this an area that you research often? Are the Bigfoots familiar with you?
Yeah, I've been researching that area for I would say over 15 years. So
Wow.
they definitely know who I am. They know when I come. And they seem to not mind have their children running amok, quietly out there when I'm out there. So it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. That because see, when I go out Bigfooting, I feel as though the Bigfoots in the area recognize my energy. They recognize who I am. I think they recognize. I take a different car out there every time I go. It seems like, I'm one of those people that my friends are like, "What do you live on a used car lot?" So but I'm always driving something different. So it's not the car. It's our energy. I think they do recognize us. I think that I connect with them on maybe a 5D level or something before I go, just make that connection, and I think that yields results when we're out there.
I think so too. And another thing is, I'm not sure how they interweb, but they're able.
Interweb,
I
yeah,
believe, well, you get on the Google, see, and you
the
get
Google, yeah,
into it. But I'm not sure how they communicate long distances, but they do somehow communicate with each other long distance.
telepathy.
And it seems that they know who I am, no matter where
Mm,
area I'm going to hunt, state, whatever. They seem to have talked to each other already and know I'm showing up. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Just the intent is somehow they're able to pick up, and that's not just for me and like I said, our energy, good people, whatever. I think that's the same for the naughty, evil, dumb people that go out there to try to kill them, and they know the thing. They're like, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing because just of the experiences that I've experienced.
Yeah.
One place before I was showing up was with Crider Exploration, and they invited me. There's no pre-planning anything. It was that day, and I had to drive 3 hours to get to where we were going to hunt. Just straight
Yeah.
up out of
Bigfoot hunt, right?
yeah, oh yeah. And he said there hadn't been any noises, any calls or anything that he had heard or recorded for like the last 3 weeks to a month. And then he invited me. I said, "Yeah, I'll go." And then an hour later, he calls me up and says, "Holy crap, man! They all are yelling. They're all just howling, going crazy, and something. They're excited about something." Dude, I mean, he was freaked out himself because it was like if you walked into a gym room locker, with a bunch of crazy kids, about to play a football game. They're ready to party. And
Right.
yeah, so like things like that, weird stuff like that, and I think that yeah, there's a huge. I agree with what you're saying. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just feel like I went out to the field a couple of weeks ago. I was speaking at the Georgia Bigfoot Conference, and I've spoken about this a couple of times. But my buddy Robbie Rains from DAX Machina podcast was he met me up there for the conference, and I took him up to one of my spots, where I do some research, and we were surrounded by Sasquatch, by Bigfoots out there, and it was almost kind of unnerving a little bit because how the crickets went silent, and we felt they were coming from every direction, and they were down by my truck, and so we kind of hightailed it down the truck after a few minutes because we didn't want to get cut off by them, but it did not seem threatening at all. To me, it didn't. Maybe it did to him. He said it didn't to him, but he's a police officer, so he's ready to fight if he has to. You know what I'm saying? So am I. But
It's
it
just
didn't feel like it was threatening.
how to handle forest ninjas.
Forest
Hmm.
ninjas, yes, there were forest ninjas all around us, like probably 7, 8 foot tall forest ninjas. Absolutely, we saw them. We actually could see them. Their shadows walking right where when we went back down to the truck. They were actually in the exact same spot where he and I had been standing in the field. So they were up there. We could see their bodies moving back and forth. I had seen them
Yeah,
in the tree line earlier, but yeah, it's
forest
we're,
ninjas. That's what I'm saying.
I like that forest ninjas. I'm gonna
Home
start
police
using
officers.
that.
Yes. Yep. We should do that. Start
Forest
start
ninjas.
a movement instead of calling them Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And now we're moving to forest ninjas.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so I'm going to write that down. Forest ninjas. Okay, we're going to copyright that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let's go to your pictures tonight, okay? Because I know the audience is really excited about seeing some of these pictures from your tent experience. So you
yeah.
guys had no intention of going to sleep, right? You just had your tent there for what? Just or did you
You
did you expect to sleep there that night?
no, not at all.
No?
We went
Okay.
there specifically to have a Bigfoot experience, and we did. It happened.
And
You know.
it happened. Did you think that you manifested it, or do you think it just happened naturally? What
Well,
do
I
you
don't
think?
think. Well, I don't think I manifested it. I think that they took my invite. I showed up to their
Okay.
house, and I yelled, "Hey, I want to say hi. Come on down." I literally said that to them. Come on down and say hello. And yeah, I guess they thought that that young man was not
A
a
threat?
danger, yeah, a threat, and we weren't carrying guns or nothing. Yeah, so I thought they came down to have some fun, because if you look at some of the pictures I sent you, you'll see that one of the Bigfoots looks almost cartoony, and he's making these faces, ooh, like that.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one on the left is just kind of smiling the majority of the time, except for when I shone the flashlight at his face, he's like, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if I have these in the right sequential order, Jesus. Okay. Because I kind of just uploaded them. So forgive me if I don't have them in the right order. Okay.
I'll
But
explain them
is that
as they come.
okay?
That's okay.
We're going to wing it. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's see what we have here. Okay. Let's go to the first picture. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is.
Okay. So this is pointing up at the event. You see the light right there. If you look
Yes.
directly below the light, you'll see real lightly. You'll see eyes and nose, and it looks like he's whistling lips.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Okay. I think I have another picture where you changed the
On the
color in
left,
it. Or is that
yeah.
different?
So this is the same picture, but I've brightened it a whole bunch.
Okay. It looks like there's
Now you
two of them right there,
got there's
actually.
two right there. So you got the one on the right making the kissy lips, and the one on the left, he's just kind of like smiling, all debonair and whatnot. They don't look like they're cousins. They look a little bit different. They have different noses and everything.
They
But if
do.
you notice the mouth on the right side of the Bigfoot, on the right Bigfoot,
Hmm.
um, his upper lip's closer to his nose. But what I want to explain is, like, on us, um, you have a finger width from your lip to your nose, right? But
Yes.
if you make your lips like that, out like how a monkey does, your lip almost goes to your nose. So
Yes.
I'm guessing that's why the mouth looks so much higher compared to the other one's mouth, towards the nose. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's get another. Here's another close up of that. This is one of the faces right there. That's pretty creepy. Jesus. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I would
creepy.
say you can see teeth, you can see the nostril, the eye socket, or even see what looks like a laugh line,
That's right. I
and
mean, those are amazing pictures, in my opinion. This wild.
and the thing is, like, the original pictures, you had to really stare to see that there was something, and once I lightened it up a crap load, the realism, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
uh, you start losing it once you start bringing, just making it too bright, But if you
Yes.
look right here on this one, you can see on the right eye, you can actually see the white of the eye in the eyeball.
Oh yeah.
It's looking to the right,
Yes.
But
That is so creepy. Here,
yeah, so
let's go to some other pictures too. I mean, this may be
right
one of.
here,
Okay.
right here is one. Remember when I said that he was getting too freaked out? So
Yes.
I shine the flashlight at at their face, and if you look to the left, you can see a grimacing mouth and nose and eyes squinting right there to the left of that. There you go. I brightened it up right there so you could see it better. But
Oh,
its eyes are closed, and it's making a funny mouth shape with its
it
mouth
does.
because it's blinded, you know. And
Because
then
you shine the light in his eyes. Yeah.
if you look to the far right carefully, you get to see our little green friend starting to appear.
Ooh.
Carefully at that.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next picture. Okay. And I know
Okay.
these are not in sequential order, like I said, but
So this is that face on the left, and
I can
again, you
see
can
it.
see the wrinkle from the laugh line going up to its cheek, up to the eye area. But yeah, I cut it out and I turned it the right way so you could see it up and down, because I wanted to mirror that part of the face so we could see possibly what the full face looks like in this position of its face. Yeah, but that's the face.
Wow.
It's not pareidolia. You know what
It
I mean?
It looks very ape-like. It looks like a Neanderthal human, like a Neanderthal,
Yeah, right.
Uh, and then we've got this. I mean, this is what it looks like you've mirrored this picture though, right? So it's like a half a face.
Yeah, now, yeah, that's what I did. And
It
you
looks
know,
like it looks like what I would consider to be a Sasquatch
right,
face.
and
Yeah.
right there in the between the nose and the mouth, right in the middle, the actual mirroring was darker there. But what I did was I just cut a little bit of the left side of the mouth and upper lip and moved it to the right a little more, so there's not just a black space in the middle, so you could really get an idea of how it looks. Yeah, I think that's pretty significant, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. It totally is. Sorry. I'm having to take care of some business on the chat side here. Okay, let's look at this one now. It looks like two faces there. This is creepy because it looks like they're taunting you in your tent.
Well, that's the thing. They're messing with Kenny. Only Kenny could see their faces at the angle. He was looking straight up.
That's your
I
friend
was,
that was with you? Okay.
yeah. So I was sitting a good 3 feet away from Kenny by the door, zipper lock door. So the angle of the roof, remember, we're looking straight up right here, what you're seeing. Um, my pictures that I took, uh, I couldn't see anything from my personal, eye view because of the tent vent.
Mm-hmm.
It screwed up my angle of seeing with my eyes. So my arms are in front of me at a lower point, pointing up like that, so my camera can see, Canon can see what's going on, but not me. So what it looks like is they were making faces at Kenny because remember he's the one that said he didn't believe in them, and I told him that,
Yeah.
but he didn't believe
That
they
was
were
it.
real. Yeah, so they're out. One's just looking at him, smiling, laughing at Kenny. The other one's going ooh but not making noises, doing it quietly just to mess with
That
him.
is creepy. Or they
Yeah,
could have been making noises and your ears just couldn't pick it up. I mean, they're on a different frequency than us, in my opinion.
it's very possible. Yeah, that one on the
Okay.
right, he's making faces a lot.
Okay, so that one guy in the chat, the one guy,
Uh,
is it just an image on the glass? Well, there's no glass there. That's a tent, so there's no glass. Or were there flesh and blood creatures looking in? Jesus, what do you think? Do you think this was like supernatural, or are these flesh and blood and flesh and bone creatures?
well, I believe these ones are flesh and blood because they stuck their arm under the tent and knocked over Kenny, and they were pressing on the tent. You could see their hands, and they were able to peel back that vent hood to look down through the mesh screen to keep the bugs out. But they're
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm calling it real flesh and blood. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, they made their point with Kenny. That's right, Sea Duke. They totally made their point there.
yeah,
And
they did.
that's interesting because Pan, the devil guy, right, Stargazer.
Yeah,
I've had friends of mine who've been out in the field who have encountered what they consider to be Pan, like goat man. There's a lot of goat men reports, Jesus, going on
yeah.
right now. So, do you think it could be possible that one of these could have been a goat man or both of them, perhaps?
Well, unfortunately, we couldn't see the top of their heads, so the possibility is out there. I can't say they
That's
are. I can't
true.
say they are. But they were at least 7 feet, 8 feet tall to be looking down. I'm 6'3", and I could stand up in that tent and not touch my head. So
Right.
they, they're
You're
really,
a tall guy. Wait, what? You have a tent that's over 6 feet tall? That's pretty good.
that
Was it
tent
a
that we were
circus
in.
tent? I'm just kidding.
You know, I'm big for a Chicano, for a Mexican, but in the world of big guys, I'm pretty little in my eyes. You know what I mean?
Well, for the Sasquatch, but you're not a Sasquatch, Jesus. You're a human. So,
I know.
uh,
I've been
but
around
you're
some really big humans, man.
right. Well, a lot of the fellas that I go bigfooting with are very tall and stocky, big guys, and I remember that was one of the things that I noticed. The first Bigfoot conference I went to in North Georgia, I met Ron Moorhead and R. Scott Nelson there, and the head of my team was speaking, and a lot of the men there were very tall and big, just like the Bigfoots.
Yeah.
Just
Well, see, like
I noticed that.
in my
Yeah.
business, being a bodyguard and a bouncer, um, I had a lot of coworkers, that were 6'8", 6'11", some were 7 feet, some were 6, 6. So in the realm of my job at the time, not movie stuff, but in real life, yeah, I was around some big sons of guns, man, and I was the little guy. I was always the little guy, but
You are the little guy. Wow. Well, I come from a family of tall people. All my uncles average about 6'5", 6'4", 6'3". So they're all tall. I know my son's going to be really tall. You know, I'm the shorty. I'm only 5'8". So I'm like the short. I got the biggest feet. Go figure. And I
me
study
too.
Bigfoots.
I
I
got the
do.
biggest family.
I got
I'm the
I got
only
the
one
big
away.
feet.
That's
Yeah.
why I take pictures of Bigfoot footprints with my foot. I wear size 16 shoes. So if it makes
You're a
my foot,
16.
yeah,
Good
if it makes
grief.
my foot look small, then you know it's a huge, big footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question. Donna in the chat is asking, did they leave any greasy handprints?
No, I didn't
No?
offer them any greasy tacos. So not too many greasy handprints. No, but seriously, I didn't on the tent. You couldn't see nothing on the outside from when they touched that. It was freezing cold that night. So I had tape. That's another thing. I duct taped the vent down to the tent that night, and because it was so cold, my duct tapers out there know if it's too cold, duct tape don't do nothing. It
It
won't stick.
doesn't. Oh, I know.
And
I used to
but yeah,
duct tape my car. Okay, so
yep.
I know I used to. I like tore the back bumper off my car when I was in college, and I used to duct tape it and with black duct
I,
tape it matched my car. And yeah,
I
when it would rain or get cold, it wouldn't hold.
exactly. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I did
know.
a nice
No, I
res,
shouldn't have said that.
res, Don't, I've got you beat. Broke my back window on my old station wagon, right? And I found
Yeah,
this plexiglass in my garage, and I was like, "Hey, this will work." And I duct
duct tape
taped it
it, man.
to the back window. I didn't realize it was a screen from a big screen TV, and it's a magnifying glass. So I came outside to my car on fire. Yep. Duct tape didn't hold after that. Nope.
Oh my gosh, Jesus! You got some funny stories now. Okay, this is
Okay.
totally off topic, but can we solve an age old question? Because people always correct me for saying your name wrong.
Uh-huh.
And Renee, I love you, Renee, but she says it's Jesus, not Jesus. No, but you pronounce it Jesus, right?
Yeah, I'm speaking English, so I say my name in
Okay.
English.
I
When I'm
just want
speaking
to make that
Spanish,
statement tonight because I get corrected every time I say your name is Jesus. It's
oh,
Jesus.
they're like, but
It's
you're brown.
Jesus.
Dude. It's
Yes.
it, like I said, whatever. I was born in the United States. My first language was English. I wasn't raised speaking any other language but English. So, depending on what language is being spoken, I prefer my name to be said in that language. So if they're speaking, Chinese, they say it in Chinese. Japanese,
Yes. Or I'm
I can
speaking
say,
English. It's
yeah. So
Jesus. Yes,
yeah,
I say Jesus.
yeah.
If we can, you and I have had this conversation before, but I just wanted to make that statement. So the people who are watching tonight, I'm not saying Jesus' name wrong. Okay, it's Jesus.
I said a
Jesus
prayer. I
is my
told them,
friend now, and
told them
we
no
talk
offense.
about it.
I'm Jesus Jr. I'm not
Jesus
hating.
Junior.
For
Yes,
these
it's
people
Jesus
out there,
Junior.
I'm not disrespecting old Jesus. Yeah.
Yes, we're okay. So that Derek, I totally agree with you. When I go camping and I'm out in the field, whenever I can take my tent, if there's enough room, if I'm truck tent camping, I have an 8-man tent. Okay, I think it's like 8 or 10 person tent. Is huge, and I set it up and I put my cot in the middle of it so that Bigfoot can't poke me through my tent. Okay, because my friend Terry Wendell out of Rock Hill Bigfoot, Terry's a good friend of mine. He's part of my team, and he was doing an overnight in a tiny little tent. I think he was in one of those, what do you call them, where it's like a cot tent, a tent cot, or something. He was in something very tiny, and
For the small
Bigfoot
ones, yeah,
stuck
yeah.
its finger in the tent and poked him while he was sleeping one night. So I prevent that. I get a gigantic 8-10 man tent and I get in the middle of it all by my lonesome. I'm a one woman team out there with my 10-man tent, and they can't. I mean, they could crash through it and attack me if they wanted, but they haven't, not yet.
What I do is I put my tent up right, and
Yeah.
nice 3 o'clock in the morning. I unzip the big door. I pull up my pant leg, stick it out, and go "Woo!" like that. So one day it's gonna work. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get me a big old Bigfoot lady gonna come in and try to steal me. Get it on camera. I might go missing, but y'all have the videotape. So, I'm sacrificing a lot.
Yes, you are. Well, it's for research purposes, right, Jesus? So it's for, and you have some amazing pictures. Okay, let's get back to the pictures and stuff. Okay, actually, let's go to the measurements. Okay,
Yeah.
because there was something called the Creature of Sugar Flat Road, and I was watching a video that Thinker Thunker did. Okay, and yeah, Thinker. Shout out to Thinker Thunker. He's got some great videos out there, and it lines up to your evidence and your picture. So can you know what I'm talking about, right? So can you kind of explain what I'm trying to say?
All my people out there that watch Thinker Thunker, you already know what I'm talking about. For those that don't watch Thinker Thunker, he likes doing breakdown on footage, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
he's watched so many Bigfoot videos, and the ones he thinks that are real, Bigfoot walks a certain way that humans don't do. That's one of the telltale signs that he judges his footage if a Bigfoot might be real or not, or it's somebody faking. But he had the newest version of that he's doing now for the measurements of Bigfoot is eye ratio to no ratio to middle of mouth, top lip area of the mouth, because humans, we have one finger usually width between our nose and our mouth, and the majority of the footage that we have of Bigfoot faces, they have 2 finger width.
It's like 2 or 3. It's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between here and the eye width between the eyes is different too. And so this is 2023. He just came out with this update on part 2 of this video, and I shot my pictures that I showed you earlier from the tent thing in 2017. So I didn't know about this ratio, whatsoever. And we got that little measuring sticky deal he made,
Yeah.
and threw it over my Bigfoot face, and it matches. So
Let's see what I got here.
Stoker to help,
There it is.
Yeah, I combined my Bigfoot with an overlaying the white Bigfoot from his video, the white Bigfoot face that he put that on, and I just did a clear overlay with my Bigfoot, and they match up. I think that's pretty significant, pretty cool, because I really do like what Thunker's done with these different measurements comparisons, and since mine was in 2017, I didn't know what the heck that was about. I didn't try to make it like that. It's just a picture. I couldn't control what's there.
Exactly, but they all come out the same. And I saw a video where he was comparing human faces, like he put Harrison Ford's face and Rihanna's face and all these famous celebrities, and all their faces, it measured up with the exact same alignment, with the different distance between their eyes, their nose, their mouth. And then he did the alleged Bigfoots, and what he was talking about in that video was something called the Creature of Sugar Flat Road. Now, this is an interesting story, and I thought maybe we could touch on this just a little bit tonight.
Oh, for sure.
And this is some kind of this picture, the little card underneath it says, "Is this an alien?" Okay, this was allegedly a severed head off of something that was hit by a car, I believe. Right, Jesus? Do you know the backstory behind this?
Yeah, so a guy hit this beam with a car, killed it, started dragging it off to dump the body off of the road, and was just really curious. He said, "Man, nobody's gonna believe me," so he went and got out his pocket knife or whatever he had on him, and he proceeded to cut off the head. One of the things that you gotta understand, because it looks kind of weird, the face looks fake.
It looks like it has dentures, honestly. I mean, when I looked at it, let me pull this other picture up. It looks odd, but like Thinker Thunker was saying, this is on his video. He said, "Well, your face would look weird too if you had been decapitated and freeze dried or taxidermed, right? I think it's taxidermed."
You got to think too that apparently when it got run over, it broke its jaw. If you look at the teeth towards the right, you can see they're all beat up.
They are beautiful teeth, though. Like this thing had braces.
You look closely to the right, yeah, right. You look to the right of the mouth, all the teeth are destroyed. They've been broken. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when they
It
got run
looks.
over, it hit the face. So then, because all the blood's rushed out, is gone because he cut off the head. All the blood left the head. So over time, between the no blood and it drying, with the taxidermist, the lips have peeled back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why it's showing the teeth the way it's showing the teeth. That's what I
Yeah.
think. Face
Yeah.
looks real weird, and then of course the eyeballs are not the real eyeballs. It's taxidermy; those are he's stuck them in there.
Marbles or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Right. Fake eyes. That's interesting because it's white too.
yeah,
White.
yep,
And we do have, well, some people say albino Sasquatch, others say they're just white. Okay.
yeah. Real white.
I mean, I was talking about albino Sasquatch and the Alabama white thing, and I'm not gonna say I didn't get attacked, but I had some people throwing some comments out there like they're not all albino, they're white. Albino is a skin or a genetic,
Yeah, yeah.
anomaly, right? So it is different. I understand that.
You can have white hair if not be
If they're
albino.
old, I mean,
Yeah,
when they get old, do they turn white? Do you think, Jesus?
I don't think they all turn white, but I think they at least go gray.
Yeah.
Like gray and
Salt
white.
and pepper. That's sexy. I
Yeah,
like that look.
yeah, but
Right?
not think that they have to go pure, glistening white. I think that if the Bigfoot comes from a family of Bigfoots that were white, then they're white. You know what I mean? Unless, like you said, it's albinism, then that's a whole different situation. But yeah, I
That's
think
true.
that as they get older, they get lighter. You know,
Interesting.
you have to
Eric,
be.
Eric's part of our team here at Space Out Radio. He said he looked it up, and apparently the Sugar Flat Road monster head has been stolen from the Lebanon, Tennessee Museum again. Ooh, so I wonder if it's been stolen again. That would be interesting. I wonder if the Smithsonian came and took a look at it. That would be my guess. That's
Well,
interesting.
right.
I mean, because there's not a whole lot of evidence like this. If this is a real, authentic, actual head of a Sasquatch, there's not a whole lot of these around, Jesus, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Not
What
to
were
get
you
out.
thinking?
Those Bigfoot that were looking at my tent were kind of jerkies. They're not cool because they're probably like, what do they have cameras? They're like, okay, it's okay. Let's bring Fred, the green skinned red eyed guy, and have him poke
Let's
his head in
scare 'em.
too, and no one will believe him for sure. Then you know what I mean? It's like,
They're trying
man,
to discredit us.
yeah.
Yes,
So
the
I'm gonna
humans.
let me take two pictures of two Bigfoots and then have that thrown in that at the end. That's not cool, man.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, okay, so not only did you have those two Sasquatch looking figures, potentially a goat man looking thing, looking in your tent, like there's when you do the size comparisons with the Thinker Thunker
Yeah.
measurements, that is absolutely 100% Sasquatch material. Okay, 100%, according to Thinker Thunker himself. Okay, I have to say, and I someone, it wasn't you that sent me these pictures originally. Okay, I had a friend of mine sent me your pictures and was like, don't share these out, but you got to see what I saw. He was so excited to share these with me. Okay, before I knew you,
Right.
I'd never met you before, and I didn't even know whose pictures they were, and I was very impressed with these things. But with the technology, the measurements that Thinker Thunker has, he's done a lot of research on this. He's one of the go tos if you want to see if something's real or fake. He's a go to. Okay, he's got a YouTube channel. But this measures up from the mouth to the eye, from the lip to the nose. Your this could very much potentially be a real Sasquatch there.
Yeah.
So these
And
are
then, like,
impressive pictures.
thank you. Like the white Bigfoot you just showed a second ago. If you notice, the face, both of those faces don't have hair on their upper lip or anything.
They don't.
And they have the hair in the same area. Yeah, like they look Amish.
It goes over to up to their eyebrows basically, and then around underneath like their face. That's
Real, a real short forehead. Real short forehead.
no forehead actually.
Pretty short.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
one head, not a forehead. I'm just kidding. I
You
don't know.
know.
Yeah, but it's really odd. And the face is like gray or blue, or it looks like. First of all, somebody said, "Is this an alien on that note card. So, I mean, was the body covered in hair? Do you remember that part of the story? Because I don't
Yeah,
know if I
the
heard that
body,
part.
the whole body was covered in white hair. The reason why I think that they're asking about the alien thing is that um, a lot of I guess at that time in this, when the remember that show, what Star Trek was out, and they had all these different beings from different planets that they were calling aliens. The lizard ones, the this ones, the monk, the ape ones. Then you have Planet of the Apes, I guess. Because I wouldn't like
Yes.
in this day and age, I wouldn't ask, "Is this an alien?" You know what I mean? In this day and age, I think that's because of the time that when it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, Eric. He says people are asking about like why did it not have a conical head shape? Well, the
Yeah,
taxidermist probably didn't have a cone head to put this thing on. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I mean, it is taxiderm. That means that it's mounted. The skin was taken off of the skull, actually, and boy, what would that be worth today if they had the skull of this thing? I know that's crazy. It's really sad to think about because a lot of people consider Sasquatch to be forest people. Okay, they're just like humans.
yeah,
But imagine, I mean, with the pelt or whatever you want to call it, like their fur, all that stuff. It makes you wonder: are there people out there that actually own these things, or did they just discard them or what? A lot of like the DNA evidence could have been taken out of that stuff. Even that head,
yeah.
I would think they could extract some DNA out of that and do some research on it.
Imagine the DNA in the teeth.
Oh, the teeth. That's right. Well, if that information Eric saw tonight is correct, this thing has been stolen, and
Yep.
yeah, we actually have Melba Ketchum. I just saw her on the calendar. We have Melba Ketchum coming on Spaced Out Radio either next week or the week after. I think it's this week. And she did a very interesting study on the DNA of Sasquatch.
Um,
So,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm Albert Ketchum. Well, she's a very real nice lady. We talk on the phone, and
do you?
we've
Very
been talking,
nice.
working together on a documentary that they've been trying to put together for a while now. So when that goes down, I've been invited to be part of that. So it's been
Oh,
cool.
well, I hope that you'll come on Spaced Out Radio and come talk with me about
Well,
that when you start that project because
I
you're in a lot of
told you
projects.
a little bit of everything in the Bigfoot world. That's what's funny is people have no idea exactly how involved I am in the Bigfoot, realm, and I'm still almost a secret. You know, it's
I
funny.
know you are. Listen. I'm pulling you out of the shadows, Jesus. Okay. When the first time I met you, I was like, all right, you're coming on my show. It's done. It's a done deal. You're going to be on my show as much as I can get you on. So, because I see the quality of your evidence. Okay, and I see the heart that you have in this. You are dedicated to learning more about the supernatural, and you're a magnet to it. And so I 100% I connect with you on that level, and so I am just honored and humbled that you come on my show to even talk about this stuff. So thank you.
Honored to be here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that is a very creepy looking head of the creature of Sugar Flat Road. I don't even know where Sugar Flat is. Is that West Virginia or Tennessee or what? Do you know?
Tennessee, Tennessee,
Tennessee. Okay. Well, there's so much weirdness coming out of Tennessee. Jesus, we have all that stuff going on in East Tennessee with Oak Ridge Labs that I talk about all the time.
the train crash, a big train crash. That then it's also in Lebanon. Sugar Flats is in Lebanon, Tennessee. It said.
Okay. Okay, that's right. Lebanon. Okay. Um, Very interesting. I don't know. I mean, we've got the Large Hadron Collider potentially over at Oak Ridge Labs in that area. We've got the zombie bears. We've got the unspecified animal attack, aka the pack of wild dog attacks on Amber and Tony Aaron's out there, and a lot of high strangeness in Tennessee. And it's right there by Kentucky, which is near LBL, and where all that stuff is out there. So I would like to go there sometime. I have not done any research up in that area, so
Yeah,
that's next on my list.
it would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. And Wow. Okay. I'm looking at some of these comments right now. Yeah, the creature of Sugar Flat Road. I mean, and I don't even know what year that was. Do you know what year that this creature was found? It was what, back in the 60s or 70s?
It sounds like the 70s to me, but
80s maybe? I don't know. I
I
don't think
don't know.
anybody's asked. I was just for my own. That was my own
Hey, all you out there,
inquisition.
you guys know what year this went down?
Yeah, if anybody's done the research on it, I don't. I'm sorry. You know, they're okay. So there is an actual flyer for this thing. Let's see if I can find it. I think I pulled it up a while ago. Oops. I just. Oh, by the way, you guys, I didn't mention that we are going to Las Vegas, Nevada, Spaced Out Radio. That ticker just came on by accident. I'm going to be in space, in Spaced Out Radio. I'm going to be in space.
You're
I'm
being
going
serious.
to be in Las Vegas, May 19th through the 21st. Hopefully, I hope, Jesus, you can come and join us at some of these events. That would be really fun. But we're going to be in Las Vegas for the Space Out Radio fan party at the Golden Nugget. Y'all come see us and get your VIP tickets as soon as you can. Okay. And
Okay,
yes.
what did
Okay.
you say?
So this is the flyer that they hand out at that museum or wherever that head is stuck. It says the Legend of Sugar Flat Road, and it's got a, it shows you like where the thing was hit. It's got a road map and a little bit of history behind it. But this is a main attraction for this little town. It's Sugar Flat Road. Yeah.
Well, find out when hard copy was started, and you'll know what year that happened because it says "as seen on hard copy."
I see it on hard copy. It was before the interwebs, right?
Yeah,
Jesus. Yeah. Probably before that. But it's really interesting, and I 100%. I really appreciate how you have taken the time to make the measurements with the same thinker thunker, measuring sticks or whatever, to show that what you were looking at. This is not a figment of your imagination. It's not a leaf on a tent. It's
nope.
not fog. This is some real hardcore like evidence right here, and as creepy as it is, the first time I saw this, I was having nightmares about it, almost not nightmares, but weird dreams, because once this creeps into your consciousness,
It's
with
like
it makes it hard to sleep at night. Okay,
if you
that's all
go
I'm
back
saying.
one picture, if you go back now two pictures, okay, right there. If you look carefully to the right of its face and its mouth, that is a real creepy ass grin it has right there.
It is. It
You
is.
can see where the mouth is grinning and the cheek protrudes from it smiling, like we ours do. That's really weird. I never noticed that. I know I've seen it a million times, but I just right now for whatever reason it looks brighter than I've seen normally. I can see that. That's creepy.
It is super, super duper creepy. Absolutely. And I'm seeing some comments tonight. Apparently Melba Ketchum was over on Duke's channel tonight at World Bigfoot Radio. And so a lot of people were able to see her tonight. And like I said, she's going to be on Spaced Out Radio this week. So I believe it's this week. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. You guys will have to go look at the calendar and check out Melba Ketchum here on Space Out Radio. And yeah, I don't know, Jesus, what you got going on now? I know, I just got asked to speak at the Dogman Conference this week with Josh Turner and Nick Valente and DA and all those guys. And I sure hope that you can come and join us at that event in September.
If I can, I will.
I hope you will.
That's that.
Yes. Yes.
Just,
And yeah,
I'm I guess right now trying to get everything back on track with getting back into doing union film and TV work. Working on a TV project right now on Bigfoot. Can't say much about it. I know, I imagine that. But there is things happening. I'm going to be doing speaking at a conference in Washington. In where the heck is it? It's being thrown by Porta is the name of the organization, and yeah, you watch the Breaking Bigfoot channel, and I'll be giving updates on all those dates for that. And yeah, it's finally warm enough to get out there in the field for me here where I'm at in our mountains. So look for some more videos coming out very soon.
yeah, you have an awesome YouTube channel. It's called Breaking Bigfoot. Now you were on Breaking Bad. Oh my gosh! And Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is. I'm not. They're both a couple of my favorite shows. That was around the time like I watched those. Then I kind of quit watching TV after that so much. But those were some of the last things that I watched on TV, and I can appreciate that. So that's obviously where you got the inspiration for your Bigfoot channel,
Oh yeah.
Breaking Bigfoot, right?
I think it makes sense because, yeah, I try to bring every aspect of evidence out, with my work, and people are like, make more videos. It's like, all right. I go, but dang, man, I done got your footprint, work with the DNA and got pictures and videos and face pictures and baby pictures and juvenile pictures. And so
this is not the only, these are not the only pictures you have. This is just a tiny little portion of all this amazing evidence you have.
I have lots. Yeah, it's nuts. And yeah, it's just, if you go down my video list, you'll see a lot of stuff that you ain't seen nowhere else. I'll tell you that. It's wild stuff, and it kind of blows my mind. Like, besides, you and a small handful of other people that I'm working with and doing, podcasts with, just how silly some of the researchers are, and they don't want to share each other's work or, show, besides when they're cutting them down, except when they're trying to debunk. You know what I mean? Instead of showing other people's findings that are, good research and spreading that love, they're too worried about their own. They don't want to talk about nobody else. And it's like, if you haven't seen all my footage, there's a reason for that, because people aren't saying nothing about it. It's like, I put it out there. It's there. Watch the,
Well, a lot of times people put their evidence out there and either people make fun of them or they claim it's fake or whatever. I've been in this long enough to where people that watch my shows, they know I don't show evidence on my shows, because a lot of people just show blurry pictures with circles, and things like that. And not to say that's not good evidence. It's just, if I don't see it, then I don't put it on my show. And, but with your evidence, Jesus, you have way more than this, and I hope that you'll come back and share more of that with us in the future, because I love showing your evidence, because this is the real deal Holyfield right here, and you are a cutting edge researcher, and for whatever reason you're like me, we attract the high strangeness, and I like that. Yeah, maybe we can go Bigfooting together sometime. I would like that.
Yeah, we can go do that, and the world will implode.
Yeah, the world will implode. I know, right? Everything's going to implode. It's okay. It's imploding anyways. Might as well implode it doing Bigfoot stuff, right?
YOLO.
Yeah. YOLO, right? Well, Jesus, so where can people find you? Is there anywhere else other than your YouTube channel where people can follow you?
You can find me on Instagram under Breaking Bad's Gonzo, but after Bad, instead of an S, it's a G, okay?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, Jesus, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I will see you next time you come on my show, and thank you for sharing all this information with us tonight. It's making the world a better place. You're the best. Okay, awesome. Okay, have a good night. We'll see you next time. Okay. All right, you guys. Jesus is the best. Thank y'all so much for being here with us tonight. Don't forget that right after this show, you can meet me with Marquise over on After Hours. I'm going to be over there hanging out with him for at least the first couple of hours of that show. Please be sure to join me next time on Off the Trails. I have Trey from Squatch Me Now. Yes, I said Squatch on Spaced Out Radio. Just wait. It's going to be a good time next week. And we're going to be talking Bigfoot and all his endeavors he's got over there. He's a filmmaker and a researcher, boots on the ground. It's going to be really fun. So you guys come join us. But for now, I'm the Cryptid Huntress. You guys join me over at the Cryptid Huntress this week, Wednesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern. And hang out with the Cryptid Huntress this week. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all lock your doors and have a good night. Bye.